from the government, and I'm here to help.
Take a look, it's in a book.
Some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda.
Let's watch Figure It Out.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's another great episode of We Figured It Out. And today's best friends here. I'm your boy, Michael.
And I'm Matt.
Matt sounds jolly for that. It's been a fast-moving week.
Yeah, it's been, dude.
What's the different mood for?
I don't know, dude. It's just like the media cycles.
It's true.
Just happen faster and faster now, you know?
I feel the same fucking way. That
So
shit's
when do you think Homeboy tries to turn himself into an ornament? Like Epstein did.
Oh no. I don't know if that's gonna happen, right? We're just gonna get some big fake fucking elaborate show, I guess. And if anybody's wondering, we're talking about the guy who never even took a shot at Trump, but apparently it's another assassination attempt.
And we're debating when he's gonna try to make himself a wind chime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
When he's gonna float in the wind, or somebody will make him a wind chime. And you haven't even heard like Kamala's side or Biden or anybody make a fucking mention on it.
Yeah, it's kind of a hot topic too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, shit, if you comment the wrong way, or it could be misconstrued the wrong way, man, that's a
Dude, I instantly thought that when the news came out that his second fucking assassination attempt happened.
dude, I almost didn't believe it at first. I'm like, what the heck? Because like I saw it on like Rare or something. I was like, okay, this just because of the source. So I had to like dig. I didn't even want to dig. I'm like, again, this is just gonna be like a thing.
It interrupted football.
Did it?
Yeah, it like,
see.
and it wasn't even like normally like a little scroller on the bottom. It was like a giant red fucking bar that like popped up, and it was like a second assassination attempt. I was like, oh shit.
Maybe I was right.
Yeah. You know, at first I was like, fuck, we got some episodes on here with some guests that didn't like Trump. I was like, we're gonna get flagged right away now.
Oh man, no shit.
The I they said that guy was like a Ukraine puppet almost, like trying to recruit people to war.
Really?
Yeah, he was like the head of like a foreign recruit legion. What the fuck, right?
Dude.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that too.
Yeah,
more.
I'm interested in him a lot. Like what?
And to give yourself up.
Yeah, it didn't seem like he was too into it, you know? And like, I mean, really, you're gonna go assassinate somebody in a bright pink shirt?
Do you think now this is crazy. This is just me going off on a conspiracy tangent here just real quick. What if you think he was like sitting there at the fence and like the other gunshots from the Secret Service like snapped him out of his MK Ultra or whatever he was in?
I'm wondering if like he
You're
didn't
not
like
going up there in a pink shirt like you said, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't
To
know.
shoot the
Like I
president?
wonder, like even in your normal, like in your normal self, you know, that might snap you out of your like, okay, I'm gonna shoot this guy, and then like you get brought to reality, like I
Like,
might not.
yeah, actually, they're shooting back.
Your tools of choice there are just horrible, horrible. I mean, you're talking things with, geez, two like I mean 2 inches at 100 yards, and he was like looking at 400 to 500. So you're talking you could miss by what,
Oh,
like a foot almost.
yeah, dude.
Hit
That shit
18
is
inches,
just,
you know?
oh yeah, he's shooting all over the place. Let's look here real quick. Trump assassination weapon.
SKS.
That That definitely just got me flagged there. If I
Oh,
wasn't searching that.
well, and it'll probably give you part one and part two because you got to be specific now.
That's true. That's true.
The first one or the second one? The first horrible one where the dude used a red dot.
Yeah, the dude used a red dot. Look at that.
See, yeah, and they like tried to say it was AK style, but like if you look down, it doesn't have a pistol grip on it.
No, that's just a rifle.
Yeah, and then those two things, those are just ceramic plates.
Oh yeah, he's just hanging them.
Yeah,
Dude, he was fucking so he was gonna shoot.
yeah, just ceramic tiles, not even plates, tiles.
Yeah. Do you think he was laying down right there?
Yeah, he was probably all proned out. But like, dude, you make yourself kind of obvious right there, I think too. I don't know.
I read it was like a specific media spot. Like the
Yeah.
media knew about it. They hide there and take pictures.
And like, if they know about it and know that Trump and knew he was going to be golfing, that dude was there for 12 hours. Nobody saw him.
12 fucking hours?
Yeah, I don't know where I had saw that either. I need to find that again.
I mean, that would make more sense, right? You show up there in the morning.
Yeah, I notice he's going to be golfing or whatever, you know?
What time? I wonder what time he was golfing.
And dude, like, you know, he's going to play at that course. Like, everybody knows he plays that course.
Yeah,
Like,
it's his course. How do you know he's got the day off though? Like, was this guy just determined to sit there and see? That's what's weird. You're like, well, I'm going to show up at this time. If Trump's there, I'm going to take a shot. If he's not, well,
I mean, and I'm sure you can just cruise by the place and see, you know, if they're up in security or whatever. I mean, there's pretty noticeable things that they do if you're watching the place. I mean, that's kind of the thing is you're going to set a pattern no matter what.
yeah, you see Secret Service probably show up before Trump.
Yeah, notice the and if you live there, I mean, or around the area, you definitely know. Let alone casing the place to actually do the job.
What if they just told this guy to go hang out there? They're like,
There's that possibility.
we got smoked in the debate, so let's get a let's get a prop.
And then you got like the blue anon that's like, no, Trump keeps himself in the media by making all these assassination attempts, right?
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say he got smoked in the debate either. That's just the news out there in the world, right?
Yeah, that's
Oh.
what I get as a general thing. I mean, Kamala's horrible, dude. She's just
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, she didn't say anything worthwhile either.
No.
It was funny too. It was like, well, why don't you give me your plan? And that was the best part, right? She was like, we have this plan, and then Trump came back. I have the greatest plan. It's put together by the best people. She doesn't even have a plan. And I was like, this is fucking gold. This is meme central.
Right. And that's still saying nothing, though, basically. Like, what do you have? Oh, I'm going to have, basically.
Yeah, I'm gonna make up a plan if you put me in charge. It's like, and that's what I hate too. All
I
these
was
people,
promised pizza every day when I elected my class president, and I never got my
yes.
pizza every day.
What
Just
pisses
saying.
me off too is like, oh, he's gonna end the war in Ukraine and Russia in a day before he even gets elected in office. Right? That's what he said. Before I even sit in office, if I win the election, I'll have the war done. I'm like, dude, you can't even get the word out to the front line that
How's
fast to stop
Mexico
fighting.
paying for that wall going?
Dude, it's been the whole time. Or China, right? China's doing
Meanwhile, we've
whatever.
been invaded, full out invaded. Like we're done, dude. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, like this is like if your sewer system started to leak, you're already at like your ground level. Your basement's already flooded, man. Like
Oh yeah. The leach field has been exposed. Dude, that's a perfect segue too. Good job. Look at that. What I
Yeah,
wanna
I
talk
knew it
today.
would. I knew I had to go that direction.
We got to get here sometime. Right? It is also, the week of 9/11. We're still in that week. So
Yeah.
I want you bring up that, we've been fully invaded. And I wanted to take a different route on the 9/11 that we had kind of talked about. And we were both like, fuck it, let's tie it into the immigration today. So then I
Right.
started looking at things and it's like, Are we poisoning ourselves with so much more immigration that we could like find ourselves in another 9/11?
I mean,
Yeah.
if that was really a thing,
Mm-hmm.
these guys were guys who even just overstayed their visas.
Exactly. If it wasn't planned, essentially, okay? I'm gonna go at this as if it was like the truth that these were immigrants here that got their training, right, and attacked us. We didn't bring them here. They weren't Saudi nationals that we paid, right? All this kind of shit.
Right. They're not vetted at all. Like,
Yeah.
at all.
The
So
driver's license that they found in the crash site, or like the passport.
passport. Yeah, that he like was like going like what 300 miles an hour out the window.
Yeah, it's perfect. Right before we crash. Right as they crash.
And out of
Anyway,
all the documents and shit everywhere, that's what you found. Good job, guys, man.
I know, right? Wow, we told you it was a terrorizer.
Found that little thing, but couldn't find the paper
Couldn't
trail
find the
of
plane
shit
before
of
it got
guys
to you.
that were yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah, you couldn't find the paper trail of shit of it coming for 10 years.
Yep. Yep. And the last thing I'm gonna do is pack my will on board and then have it conveniently like, oh yeah, well his luggage didn't make the plane. Well, that luckily for him because he had his will on it that he was
I
about to
know.
crash it. That
Oh,
was
that's
a horrible
great.
idea.
Or
It's probably
like,
the best luggage mishaps ever.
we know what happened because we found like family photos of people just perfectly that didn't make it. It's like, what? Anyway, um, we definitely know that's some fuckery about there, I guess. And today we read even like, dude, article after article, right? Of whichever side you want to look at. You could be so fucking extreme right, and of course, conservatives are going to hit you up and be like, "Oh man, immigration, it's terrible. It's the worst ever." And then
Right.
Democrats will tell you too. They're not afraid to tell you there's immigration problems. Oh, we can't handle the border. They'll just tell you, we've got a plan for it though.
Right.
We've been working at it, and it needs. We're the nice people about it, is how the blue goes, but both sides will
Yeah.
be like, we don't fucking know.
I really like that Tucker Carlson perspective on that kind of like I mean I'm not a big Tucker Carlson guy, but like he definitely touches on that pretty good. Like you want to talk about housing problems.
Yeah.
You caused it. You're
Oh yeah.
causing it,
Yeah.
making it worse.
Yeah, that video is insane. It's dead to the point, and they'll never give us the fucking numbers of who's really coming in. But if you've got 30 million people in 12 months, well, I mean, I can kind of do some math.
Yeah.
You're letting in a couple million a month. That's a lot.
And we're 300 million.
And I get it.
Yeah.
We got a
But
ton of
so-
land in the United States.
Yeah, but you're
But-
taking on 10% of your population.
Yeah. It's our land. And you can't just give it away, right?
Yeah.
And with these open borders, like we said, are we risking another 9/11? We don't know who the fuck we're letting in.
No.
We live in a state literally right
But
now.
if I go and I leave, I'm expected to have pay my taxes to the government to leave, like in order to come back.
Where the fuck was I reading? You have to like pay to get into this city, a visa or like a ticket, and then you literally have to pay, dude, to leave. Even they got to run your shit again to leave. That's how strict they are on it. Yeah. They're like, oh, you leaving now? Well, we need to see your ID. You need to pay us a ticket again to get the fuck out. Yeah, it's a little ruthless. I don't know about that. It's like, at what point are you no longer free to come and go on the fucking planet you're from?
Right. And I get like, as long as you're going with the passport, you know who I am, you're going to be able to figure it out pretty quick. So, I mean,
That's the problem with America, though.
and then like if one of these dudes commits and they do like immigrants do commit crime, that's not unheard of. I mean, that's why every gang has formed ever.
Yeah,
right?
don't listen to
That's why
Trump saying all.
that's why the Crips existed. That's why those all
Mhm.
those things grew was because of the big influx of Mexican gangs. So,
Absolutely.
this is how
Absolutely.
you get gangs.
It's this is how you get gangs. Do you want gangs? Because this is how we get them.
Yeah, and white people we aren't allowed gangs unless we're racist.
Yeah, we're only
So-
allowed the gangs in prison.
Yeah.
And they feel like, they like try to. I'm not for white people and I'm not for racism. Everybody out there,
Yeah.
let's get that straight. But they try to act like white people should be okay when they're like, yeah, we gave you the prison system. What are you mad about? And it's like,
Right.
come on. That's what we get to run. Like, that's not fair. We want to be out on the streets running fucking kilos and whatnot. Come on, bro. Anyway, sorry to everybody out there in prison. I'm not making light of that.
Because I'm sure you're listening to our podcast.
They might be. You never know.
Actually, they have some perks. I don't know, man.
I have been pitching it a lot frequently. And I could start pen pals. Just send a little sticker. We figured it out sticker to people in prison. They're like, yes. And then they're like, I don't have a radio. They just write me a nasty letter back. Where's my iPad, you piece of shit? Anyway, that was
Put some money
Oh,
on my
come-
books and I'll listen to your shit.
yeah, exactly. You want me to hear you? Anyways, like, dude, even we, as we're talking, we live in a state that's in the news left and fucking right for immigration because we'll just be straight up honest. There's no truth to it or lie about it. Nobody knows what is actually going on unless you're willing to stick your fucking head in the lion's den. But they claim Venezuelan gangs have taken over like 30 apartment complexes, roughly.
Dude, let's roll.
That's a shitload.
You want to go
So-
to that Lion's Den and go check it out, see if that's a real thing?
Dude, I bet it is. And it's so funny because they'll tell you, it's not. You can go talk to the people that live there and they say it's not a problem. It's only a problem for the lower class other immigrants. And we're like, well, yeah, dude, they're extorting the other fucking immigrants. They live in the apartment complex. So it's silly how they try to go about it. They're like, it's immigrant crime on immigrant crime. It's not them taking over a complex. But then yet we get videos of these motherfuckers going door to door with guns.
With guns.
Guns.
Again, like more gun laws of work, right?
Yeah,
These are
sure.
illegal guys with no papers
Mhm.
that are obtaining firearms.
Let's take the firearms from the good guys. so
Whether or
that-
not they own the complex or that's another immigrant that they're basically exploiting, but they're exploiting them with guns, which
Mhm.
they obtain somehow. So
If they took our guns, how are you supposed to defend yourself against the dudes who come with guns?
what, Mexico don't have guns?
What blows me away, dude, in Colorado?
That's what goes over there is our guns.
Yes. What blows me away about that video is like, how did they go door to door extorting? Like where, or if they didn't go door to door,
And
a
not
couple
just
of
get
them-
blasted.
Dude.
That's what kind of tells me that there might be some truth that is immigrant on immigrant.
Uh-huh.
Because I mean, now you know who the like true victims can be. Because like, what are you gonna do? Like, go to like your little town and start busting down doors? I mean, that
Yeah.
becomes dangerous quick.
Yeah.
Even in the wrong, like, even in some of like the most liberal of areas, I wouldn't go door to door in an apartment complex, man.
No,
You
dude.
get like a 1 in 3 shot, even in like the best of it, like even in Boulder, dude.
That's yeah, exactly. That's like Colorado's motto, right? Our gays defend their drugs with guns. So you don't know who's yeah, you don't
Yeah.
know. Right? That's the crazy part that I always thought about. It's like if those Venezuelan gang guys came, dude, they would never pick like a white area. They would never pick a black area. They would get shot.
Yeah.
You might close
might
the
not
door.
even pick the black or the gay areas, you know?
Oh yeah, they'll shoot you too. They got guns.
They got guns and they're sassy black ladies. I mean, all of them.
And like, dude, if you extort me for my rent money, that's a lot of money. That's all my money for the month. It's like, I might even wait till you turn your back
do
and
you
close
have
the
money?
door.
I mean, you're truly an immigrant. You have your shirt on your back, and if somebody's trying to extort you,
Mhm.
you're just gonna let them because they have a gun, dude.
Well, they
You're
can still
talking.
get-
This is the last I have, man.
They can get jobs. I mean,
You
will they? You can.
Well, and see, that's kind of the thing is me and one of my other buddies, we had this conversation about, I mean, what does your boss do technically? He exploits you.
Hmm.
All of it is exploiting
He pimps you
other
out.
people, right?
Mhm.
So I mean, there is a market to be able to exploit that labor for sure.
Dude, and that's like, so
And
before
that's how
9
you get your housing too.
before 9/11, that's what we viewed immigration as, It
Cheap
was
labor.
it was viewed as a labor and like an economic statistic.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, what could we give or what could we get without having to give too much from these guys?
Right.
And
And there, I feel like it was different times that we got different immigrants during those times.
oh yeah,
I feel like,
there wasn't a
oh,
security concern.
so I meet a lot of these newer immigrants, I'm not gonna lie. And dude, there is a far cry from like the guys you met that were like working on a farm, man.
Oh,
Like they're
100%.
dude, they're thugs, man. Like I
Mhm.
have writing on stuff now. Like I feel like I'm like in Thugland when that stuff happens, right? Like where do you see
Yeah, dude.
writing on things? You
Yeah,
know?
dude.
Like,
It's like
yeah, dude.
just fucking graffiti in the alleyway on
Right,
dumpsters and shit. It's
right?
like,
Like I'm not against you doing your art, but don't do it in places where there's not already art, you
yeah,
know?
and it's not even art. I don't need your
Yeah.
fucking name.
Yeah.
You know?
Or whatever the heck you wrote. I mean, geez, dude. And it's that kind of stuff. And these are the immigrants we're getting. We're not getting the dudes who actually want to work
Mm-hmm.
and do a job. They don't want to make a better place
Yeah, they're out there.
at
They
all,
do it,
you
but
know?
they're fucking outnumbered, And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
you meet the dudes who come over and they're like, yeah, I'm working real fucking hard. And they brought over 3 shitty ass sons who don't want to work. You
Yeah.
know, you run into all sorts of problems with it. Or you run
Yeah.
into people who fucking come over and then they're labeled as that immigrant status right away and they have no other choice to make money but then kind of pushed into crime because people bully them or they're in the fucking apartment
And
complex where it's
dude,
being taken over.
they truly are like that. I took our job things because I mean, dude, you get to thinking about like people who can outwork you. Hispanics, dude, all day. Any Hispanic can outwork you any
Yeah,
day,
dude.
dude.
Yeah, off of
The
2 hours of
like
sleep.
the 70-year-old dude could come and run laps around me. I'm positive of it.
Oh yeah.
You
And if
know,
he'll work 10 fucking hours without a break too.
at half my price because he also doesn't have Uncle Sam taking like
Yeah.
half of it, you know.
Yep, exactly. um it was though, back in and oh, I had to look. I want to talk back about the things that I'm talking about are like the 90s, I'm looking at like a decade before 2001 happened. And then we're looking at a decade or two after,
Yeah.
with the immigration flowing in. And in the
Like in
90s,
the 80s, it wasn't even a talked about thing, was I mean, I don't know. We didn't live through those, but I mean,
the 80s was like, I don't think people gave a fuck about
yeah,
anything in the 80s, dude, if I'm being really
not
honest.
even their own music
No, it's like
for that matter.
the 80s are a mythical time. How were we even born? Dude, this, like everybody did whatever. There were drugs rampant, cars, every good was manufactured was just cheap as shit. Like how the fuck did that happen?
Things like
Food was
went downhill. Like you look at cars in the 70s, they were like amazing ass. And then
oh
like
yeah,
who wanted a 1980s anything?
nobody. Nobody.
Like even still, like I mean, I'll take an old 80s pickup, but not like a
No, like a
but not
Corvette.
over like a 70s, you know?
No, yeah, absolutely not. Yeah, I see like the 80s Corvettes and I'm like, that's the
What a
ugliest
ugly
fucking
piece of
one.
shit. Yeah, yeah.
You
The
know?
90s weren't great, but the 80s,
No.
wow.
The
You guys
90s were
weren't
like
even trying. And their Mustangs? What was that?
yeah, what the fuck? That's not a
I mean,
Mustang.
yeah, I guess you got like you got the
Bro,
Fox body guys, but
that was if a Pinto had sex with a real Mustang. That's what you got there. In my opinion, it was like a Pinto. And
yeah.
so when I say like the 90s, right? We had what was called the Immigration Act of the 90s, okay? And it increase the allowable number of immigrants allowed in. And there was like an emphasis on the family reunification part of it, which we still have today. And I'll touch on that. But if you were a permanent resident, you could essentially sponsor any family member you wanted, bring them right over for visas. This is before
Right.
2001, you know, and
Gotcha.
there were people let in right away, right? Because you had family here. So that was oh yeah, fill out your paperwork when you get here type scenario. You know, you got a sponsor, we trust you. And it was fine, you know, because it was people who did want to fucking work. You
Right.
know, you could come over and make something of yourself in the 80s. 90s, my bad. And then they had the
80s
like
were good times for our people too. Like for
everybody.
anybody that was here. I mean, yeah, like the weight, like buy a house on the cheap, you know? Like you could
Let's
buy
talk about that
your
housing
your
market, baby.
yeah, you want to talk about inflation? Yeah. That's a staggering number from when houses were bought, you know, and then
Mm-hmm.
you're bought into the whole system. Like me and you can buy stock in the things, and when they were affordable,
Yeah, I know. Could you
yeah.
imagine if we would have done something like that? I just want to buy fucking land right now.
Oh, dude, it'd be amazing, but
Land's where it's at. I don't even got to live on it. I'll just let other people live on it. You know, I'll build
there's
some affordable housing. Fuck it.
yeah.
I'll be a Venezuelan slumlord. We'll fight back. Um, yeah. So you could also come over off of employment-based visas through this Immigration Act. So if you were good at a fucking job, right? And dude, these employment visas didn't go out to fucking Pedro who had a degree in stock market finances, you know? You
I
could
went
be
out
good at
to
yeah.
like like anything like construction or
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah. We'll hook you up if you could fucking lay brick, you know? Hey,
Right.
you and your 12 cousins got a carpet company? Come on over.
Right.
Jobs that
There's no Americans doing those jobs right now, right?
exactly they took our jobs, you know,
Mhm.
job category, which
Right. Which I mean,
respectable,
it's
bro.
which you're doing it at a cheaper price. I mean, but then again, that whole tax thing's a real deal. But like if you're making them above the table, it at least puts them above the table paying into the system
In
versus,
yep. What's crazy too is think about this. You said this and it just made me think of it. They're doing it for half the price and all this shit.
but what's the true cost is my thing.
Dude, the houses cost twice as much now. It's like fucking Juan and Pedro just did it for half the price. Why does it cost me more?
Yeah, because that's a messed up market in all in
Because
and
they
of
want the
itself.
profit.
But then like true cost, like what does it cost us for medical?
Yeah.
It's not like they're out there not procreating.
No, yeah, they get
What
to
does it
use
cost you
everything.
out like if you have insurance? Like, dude, it costs you money to have a
Thir-
kid.
13 grand, Matthew.
Yeah,
That was
mine
my
was
last baby
mine was I think
after insurance.
18 I think is what we ended up paying. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So and
it's
that
not
was
cheap.
all out of pocket shit, you know, and like they don't tell you about that.
No. No.
Like I
They're
could
like your
almost bought my
insurance covers it.
parents' first house in the 80s with what
Yes.
it cost me to have a kid.
Yes.
And you can
My
do it, come in and do it for on the free. Dude, like cost you zero.
my
That
grandpa told me um his first house he owned, and then in the 80s where the rates were bad or whatever that was, he had to pay 15 grand to get out of his house to get to his next one. I was like, dude, 15 grand when you bought the house for 20, you're still only my down payment
dude, yeah.
for a whole
Yeah.
fucking house, bro.
And see if there is that again, which I pray to God there kind of is, man, because we need like a mass a correction, a huge correction in the
Yeah,
housing
something
market.
needs to correct.
But it can't when we keep like and the new thing is you're dropping our standard of living, right? Because what do immigrants do? Do they live one family to a household?
No, yeah.
No, that's becoming more and more of our culture now as well. Is you can't like move out of your parents' house. Like that
No.
becomes not a thing.
Yeah.
You know, eventually.
You better find a
And,
fucking wife, you know? or-
Yeah, because it
Yeah.
takes two incomes.
Mhm.
It really does.
It absolutely does.
No way you can do it by yourself. Even if you make like I have friends that make six figures that still have to live with their siblings, you know?
Oh yeah,
So-
fucking my wife's sister is fucking makes enough money to live by herself, but in the world that we live in, they dictate that you don't live by yourself, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And it's barely getting by. If you are, it's like, hey, cool, I can afford a house, a car to get back and forth to work, but I don't eat.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
these
I
are
eat
my
fucking
options.
ramen.
Yeah.
God. And the government collects those fucking taxes off the immigrants, dude. They'll send them to work, they'll send them and then they won't give them the benefits of it. So the government's just pocketing it all while still hosing the other people.
Yeah.
You're hosing the immigrants and you're taking the money for our systems that we pay into
Right.
and not
right.
letting us use it either.
And by us, it doesn't mean the yacht club or Section 8. That means
No.
that means the people in the middle class that are
Yes.
actually paying it, which is a small percentage of us anymore.
The
there's a-
98%.
Yeah. I mean,
I say that because there's probably 1% poor and then 1% rich, you know?
yeah.
Probably a lot more poor than that
Yeah, I think that
and a
number's
lot less
growing.
rich. That money is just dwindling down to certain hands, if you notice, you know?
Yeah, and that's all about exploiting more like who you're exploiting, man. That's how
Yep.
you make money.
They also have one that's kind of fucked up, dude, that in the 90s. And it's just my opinion that it's fucked up, you know? It's kind of like the hey, check out our shiny toy, you know, we're good people. And they had a Visa draft lottery. And it was for diversity and it aimed to like get more immigrants in countries that couldn't exactly afford to come to America. Hey, you won. We'll take somebody from fucking Morocco, you know, or wherever. I don't know. Morocco's probably got enough money, but bad example. Right? I just thought for a second, you know, and it was a specific program to bring immigrants from countries with low US immigration rates. Which almost seems weird. Why would you care? If there was a low immigration rate, why do you need them to come to America so bad?
Right. Like they're happy in their country.
Yeah. How much taxes you pay in your country?
Yeah,
'Cause
like
we'll charge you.
whoa, you're happy in your country? You can come here. It's okay.
Mhm.
That's kind of a backwards way of looking at it, no?
We'll work you to the bone and make sure that you you want to go back to your country. Those are people, dude, you meet. Like, speak to a true Mexican, you know? They'll think it's fucked up, dude, when they come here. They're like,
Yeah.
why are we working so goddamn much? You know, we should work 3-4 weeks and then I should take 2 weeks off. You know, they fucking do that shit.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know, they have big
And dude,
fiestas
and they'll come here and work freaking solid 9 months, dude. Hard.
yeah.
Hard. And then go
Oh,
take
yeah.
3 months off though.
Yeah,
Like
fuck
kick
yeah.
your feet up on a beach and live the high life. you know?
Hell yeah. Eat a roasted pig. Fuck. I'm just kidding. I don't eat pork like that. And then there's the one here that I have my biggest problem with. I'm sure you have ideas on it because you fought in the military too, but we always offer, regardless to the state, asylum for individuals fleeing war, politics, you know, any sort of persecution. And it's like, that don't mean we just fucking take you, but I mean, you see bad people, you know, that claim asylum, and it's like, get out of here.
Yeah. And see, like, fix your shit.
Mm-hmm.
Where was our forefathers' asylum? Where
Yeah.
was, you know, there was no asylum.
Yeah, I have a problem with that. It's like, if your shit's in the shitter and
Fix
you
it.
want to come to us, well, you were part of the fucking problem in your country because you weren't willing to fix it. Why the fuck would we want that problem here?
Right.
You know,
Right.
you didn't have a spine to do it in yours.
And
they're
see,
like, well,
and
we'll die.
and
Well, you'll die then.
it's weird that they did that. Like, have you noticed especially in our local small area, they actually immigrated a lot of a Somalian base to us.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. to work at a specific place. Like, man, that displaced a lot of us too. Like, you see how that one little thing, like all of those lives were more important than our lives in my eyes.
Absolutely.
Because
Oh, yeah.
though we were taken out of our mouths to feed those mouths.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, hey, you go fix your shit, man.
Why do
Sorry.
you think they put the Somalians at JBS? Do you think it's because like they butcher calf and like goat and shit all the
They
time?
needed something for it, right? Like, and they get huge tax accreditations to do that as well.
Hell yeah, to take in
So,
those refugees.
so it's a dude, think about this though. It's the government bringing them in, and then the government giving you a like a tax rebate to bring them in, basically, and fuck all these other people that are already here.
That we're
Like,
already paying the
That
government
that
taxes.
shows you who the government hates, and that is
Mhm.
us.
Yes,
That's not, yeah, that's not the way it is.
we're a product to them.
Yes, and
And
we're not the product that they want.
no, we're what we provide is the product. So whatever the cost that comes at, they're looking for the fucking cheaper one.
Yeah.
And that's how you get letting in anybody. You know, you stand there at the border and you interview people, and they're like, work, work, work. It's like, dude, I'm pretty sure 17 of these guys that were 70 plus years old weren't all here for work.
Right.
You know, some of y'all are here just to do fucking nothing.
And see, like, people think that cultures are like interchangeable all the time. But I will tell you, Eastern culture is different. It is
Yeah.
different on every level.
Try to
They
tell
are
that to
not
the
like
Muslims and
you
Jews.
can, yeah, exactly. Like they live next to each other and can't get along, right? Now you're bringing that here. You're bringing
Yep.
all that bullshit here. That's what
Mhm.
you're doing. It's not your typical, like, it's not Mexicans, man. Like, Mexicans and Americans are pretty, they're like at least faith-based are the same, moral-based are the same, you know?
You do
Like,
though, just like Tucker Carlson
and
said in that.
then you go to a place where a dude will strap a bomb to his kid to kill you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Is
fucked
that
up.
the same? You know?
That's what Carlson was getting at, right? You're fracturing these whole communities by filling them with nobody that has any culture together. We go to school and your kids can barely play on recess because they don't even understand the language, or they don't understand the same like playtime activity, and that's kind of a bad example too, because
And they'll
kids always
grow
get
up to
along with
think
kids.
Democrat brought you here too.
Yeah. Yes.
You
Which has
know,
nothing to do with
and
it.
that's going to perpetuate the cycle.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, no,
Capitalism brought you here.
yes, capitalism, the ability to make money off of your sorry ass brought you here. The Democrats' ability. See, I don't even like saying it that way because I'm not a Republican. I'm not out
I'm
here
not
trying
either,
to
but I
flaunt
see
the other
both
side.
sides.
Yeah.
Like,
But
and
the
I-
fact that they do fucking, you're shuttling in immigrants into spots
at
where
least,
you
like,
want to
okay, that's where I
control
line
the
up with the
narrative.
red side, right? Like, I will see both sides, but I line up with the red side on that one. Like, immigration,
Yeah.
it needs to stop. Sorry. Like,
Yeah,
we need to take a negative number for a few years at this
Yes.
point.
And I didn't hate, controlling it. The wall is a good idea.
In
Border
theory.
patrol is a good idea. Documenting them, good idea.
Yeah.
Giving them 3 months, like what was that, DACA? Is that what Obama
DACA,
did?
yeah.
Yeah, right.
DACA.
He had 3 fucking months. You filled out your paperwork. Cool. You didn't? You were fucking out. Now the problem with Obama, right? He didn't follow up on any of that shit.
Right.
Oh, okay. You didn't fill out your paperwork? Man, that's all right. We'll extend it. And then it was
Indefinitely.
criminals too. Yeah. But there was like a large, it's funny that we were just saying neither of us are blue or red, because in the 90s, right, there was a large bipartisan support for it. Most people didn't give a fuck. It's not like it was today, right? The red staunchly
No.
not having it. Yes. The blue, no, let's be humane. Let's help people. Let's give them this. Let's give them that. They even
help them help themselves, right?
yes.
It's that whole fish analogy, dude. It's that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not teaching them anything, just giving them shit.
No.
And I
Like,
get
hey,
it. You
your
don't.
country's like, let's buy Mexico at this point. Let's buy Somalia. Like, jeez,
Hmm.
let's get their GDP out.
Yeah, let's
You
just
know?
fucking buy Mexico. Then they don't. Let's just buy Venezuela.
It's kind of like a corporation, man. You see a shitty a corporation doing shitty. There's somebody out there that can buy your shit and turn it around and make a
Bail it out.
profit. Yep. And especially when it's costing me money as the other company, you know? Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah. They would definitely figure out how to get your ass the fuck out the way and profitable.
right, right. And that's the thing is I think it's too many jobs at stake there at a higher level too. Like, I mean, what are all your FBI agents and shit gonna do then?
Mm-hmm. What's
They don't have anybody, the whole Homeland Security, who the hell are they gonna watch?
yeah? Who's Border Patrol? You hired all these
I
fucking
mean,
soldiers.
I mean, we have our own agent, by the way. Hi.
Yeah. What up, dude? Um, maybe he's around from this time, so maybe he will remember. I'm sorry if you're a she too over there. We don't know.
It could be.
You
We're
could
not
be,
biased.
or
Do you guys
or
probably have to take shifts at this point?
or sorry we fucking judged your gender at all. Either or.
I think you guys are just selling yourself short if you ain't got a whole squad on it. But
Yeah, you should be watching us closely. Anyway, they had the Clinton era or admin era. In that era for the Clinton admin, they had Operation Gatekeeper. And dude, it was a plan to tackle border immigration, and they like added more agents, physical barriers, and surveillance.
that was under Clinton, yeah, right?
Yeah, yeah, which was fine, right? It's
For
a
the
Democrat.
Democratic Party then.
And he
Weird.
had it. He understood. We should probably watch these fucking guys. We need a little bit more resources towards it. He wasn't full on build fucking 10-foot wall. He just wanted like checkpoints. The problem though, kind of
And then
kind
what
of
did
fucked
Junior
things.
do? Junior didn't do anything, did he?
Well, Clinton fucked it because by doing that, dude, it just pushed like them to barren terrain. He didn't think about it, or whoever was in charge, his border czar at the time, his Kamala, didn't fucking think that you would just divert the population to another area, So they were like, well, busy city, let's build border patrol. Well, now you had all the immigration going through like deserted desert land where the drugs and the cartel and the bad shit was happening.
Right. You now have the bad stuff with the good stuff, right?
And you fucked that, right? And then so people kind of sat back and were like, you got extortion, and there's like you're starting to, even these people who are working or just trying to get over here correctly, we've now diverted them to an area where they're coming across with the cartel because they have no fucking choice. So now we're viewing them all as shitty cartel members,
Right.
It created this whole xenophobia of Latin Americans that were horrible fucking people. So the Clinton administration took a hit for that, which is weird. You wouldn't think adding surveillance and border patrol and shit would hurt you, but that's how hard it is, right? To run a policy on a fucking
When
country.
does Latin America start? At Mexico?
It's got to.
Okay.
It's got to.
Because this is where the Latin language starts.
Yeah, I would think, right? And then down
Where
to
does it
fucking,
end to like Brazil? Portuguese is pretty fucking close.
I was
though.
gonna say Portuguese has to be the language because Spanish is still Latin,
Yeah.
And those
Ours is Latin. Why can't we be Latin American?
this is true. We're Latin English. That sounds so stupid.
It does.
So those were kind of like the means, dude, right? That the hijackers, quote unquote, we're still leaving it at that, used to get it, simple sponsorship, some of these immigration back then, dude, if you were in school, you could get a visa to go to school. And then if you stayed in school, they would just renew the visa. So you could just keep that loop, right? Oh, I could get in school to get a visa and then stay in school to get a visa.
Right. And then like, dang, I have 4 doctorates. Now what do I do?
Yeah. Well, I fly a fucking plane into a building. That's some of them. That's how they got here, right? They enrolled in flight school. Some of the hijackers.
Yeah. And some of them couldn't even fly a plane, which was funny. Like they couldn't fly a Cessna.
Yeah.
Somehow got
In the flight school.
bearing. Like, dude, I just got to like thinking about like, dude, the navigation in the sky, like,
Bro, we went over Boeing. Like you think about this. They want us to believe that these hijackers manually took over these things and steered them into a plane. When we did the Boeing episode, we know damn well you better be one strong motherfucker if you're going to manually control one of these planes in the air flying.
right,
Right? That ain't a feat you can do. Or these planes that crashed with those angle sensors would have pulled out.
right.
But yet we watch these planes come and fly in and turn and fucking like bam and rip through it. It's like from a pilot with no training. Come on.
Right.
You wouldn't
And-
even know.
Even if I spent hours and hours on Flight Simulator, I don't think I would figure out like I guess you go through a lot of that in like the basics of it, but I think
Bro, I've
man,
played a
dude, you're
shitload of Flight
30,000
Simulator.
feet in the air, and now you have to find out where the fuck you are just out of the fucking blue.
And it comes
Like,
fast.
yeah,
You're talking 700 miles an hour. Right? Like I've played Flight Simulator for fucking years, okay?
and everybody
I
just
still can't get the perfect glide into land. I'm always either too fast, right? Just
and everybody's like, what? They're gonna land this thing? That was no, like, okay, I could get Flight 93 happen, but
Mm,
yeah,
yeah.
like, yeah, dude, I don't think any of them would have actually happened. Like, Americans don't go down like that. I'm like,
No.
you
No.
threaten me with a box cutter, really? Oh
Yes.
no, some stitches, bro.
Yeah, somebody's
'Cause
crazy enough in
me
that
and
flight.
the other 4 dudes behind me are gonna fucking kick your ass out, man.
Especially the pack mentality, right? It would just take one person to fucking react.
Just start, dude. It just takes
Mhm.
that first person to fucking be like, you know.
Yeah, and then everybody else looks, oh, we're going, we're fucking going, right? And then it's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah, especially if everybody's life's endangered. Like, shit,
oh yeah,
dude.
we're dying either way, homie.
Yeah, like
We're dying here, we're
they-
dying there.
Yeah, what? Because they were nice and told you they're gonna land it?
Yeah, fuck that. I'd be looking at the guy like, I don't trust him. He's already killed somebody and has a knife.
And did he kill the pilots though?
Yeah, they killed the pilots.
How
See,
did
so
they know
that
that?
probably instilled, well, they say they entered the cockpit and killed the pilots. How do you enter the cockpit? And the pilots just didn't fight
And-
back against a
every-
box cutter?
Right? And nobody like fucking like heard the commotion, started anything like you know?
Dude,
It's
how
just-
do the pilots not have a secret pimp cannon for that? You know, like the,
And see,
the
like, that's when-
cockpit locks, where's the pistol? Just give him a 2-shot pistol. You know, just a fucking, what do they call those? The 410 judge, you know?
Yeah.
Just end the problem, whatever it is. You got 40 people trying to hijack it on the plane. One comes in, you hit him one guy with a judge, blow his fucking back out. The rest of them might calm down.
Right. And then we started doing air marshals after that. But like, dude, we all like after all of that shit happened, we had like one of the worst pieces of legislation, I think, in American history. With the whole fucking what was that, the Patriot Act?
Patriot Act. Yeah.
Yeah, like oh, real patriotic.
What is that? My boy was telling me about it today. I don't know if he was right, but he was talking Project Pegasus is what they used within the Patriot Act to like high-tech spy on people. That's when they like would turn your phone's camera on, you know, and watch you type shit.
Mhm.
That's fucked up.
Yep, dude, and like they do all of that in the name of our safety, but yet
What are we doing?
bring them on in, boys.
Yeah. We've
By
literally
the plane flow. We didn't even get into that. How many millions of dollars that they spend just flying these guys around the country?
dude, Global X Airways like lets their planes be rented by federal government contractors.
Yeah, a lot. Actually, quite a few do.
And they'll tell you, oh no, we're not shipping immigrants out, you know, and they'll give you the typical politician answer. well, that's not what we're doing, even though that's what they're doing, you know. And they'll be like, we're actually picking these guys up and helping them from a displaced area and spreading them to here. And it's like, dude, you're picking up fucking immigrants and taking them to certain said places
Yeah,
with
the vote
federal
particularly
funds.
red, which is funny
Mm-hmm.
to me. I'm like, well, that's a little awkward. That's kind of an interesting way to play the game too. You know, especially when you know that they're going to grow up and vote blue.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, does politics even matter anymore? Or is it just literally, I
Either
want to
way, I
win
get
this year,
fucked.
right?
Yeah, and either way, I get fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah. We get fucked either way. The politicians sit back and they don't give a shit what they're doing. They just
like
want to win.
it works us like better at a more local level, right? Like I feel like your local politicians don't get away with that shit because you you see them on the street,
Oh,
right?
yeah. We'll punch you in the nose. You'll be on local
Like,
channel
right?
4
You'll be getting
socked.
gas one day, and
Somebody punching you. You know, that's just how it goes. And it really is true, though, because they talk about these things, right? We could have had the Trump assassination. What about if Kamala gets in charge? It's like, dude, either way, Marv is opening up the fucking Walmart tomorrow. You know, we don't need these fuckers here. You know,
no,
Matt files the fucking oil for these trucks to get
from what
through.
I
You know,
see, from what I've seen, they don't like us anyways. You know, you look at the people you punish, like if I work extra at work, I get punished more.
oh yeah. Oh, you thought you were going to earn some money to have a good time? Well, we're going to take that some more.
Yep, yeah. We'll just take your base salary then, basically, out of your
Yep.
taxes.
How about that?
Yeah, dude. Yep.
It's
And especially in a system where we're punished by fines,
mm-hmm.
you know, like I speed, I get a fine. Okay, that's a good punishment. However, I go to work, I also get fined.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You showed up to work. Thanks for letting us tax you.
Mhm.
You did something wrong. Thanks for letting me tax you.
Yeah,
It's like
well,
you bought
you're flying some
something.
dude in, giving him a apartment, giving
Yes.
him food until he can get on his feet, you know.
Food stamps, fucking what is that? TANF, you know,
Yeah.
right? Essentially, they get
Yeah.
fucking money stipend.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying some of these people were getting like $5,000 a month, bro, between housing, food, and like cash.
Yeah.
Dude, they put a $25 million construction job got wiped off the table because they needed the funds to pay for these hotels to house the immigrants. And I get it. You don't want them just fucking roaming the streets. But don't bring them in.
Remember that beginning part of Scarface? That's what you get. You want to come in like that? That's what you get.
That's what you get. Okay.
Oh no, kids in cages. Yeah, kids are going to be in cages if you come.
Yeah.
Do you don't want your kids in cages? Don't send your kids.
Yeah. Oh, you don't want us to lose them? Well, then you probably shouldn't let us put them in fucking cages by coming over here. You know?
Ship them. I don't know. That's what I would do. I mean, gosh.
There's videos though, right? You watch the National Guard and the Border Patrol literally helping them over the razor wire.
Yeah. Because you basically have to at that
Yeah,
point.
what are you gonna do? They're stuck in it. Yeah, you're not a piece of shit.
Yeah.
They just force their hand. They're like, all right. So now let's fast forward to 2024, right? So we were in the 90s. We had all these fucking policies, right? And these immigration acts where, oh man, if they can bring us work or if they're got some family here, we really don't care. You know, we're not following up with documentation. We're just getting them in here. We're filing paperwork on them. We're getting our tax money from them.
Getting them pay into the system.
Yep, sounds good to me. 2024, you know, we've had terrorism attacks and things like that. So obviously, we still have border security, right? It's definitely taken a militarization route. It's definitely taken a more dangerous route, I would say, right? You're no longer just in danger of what am I thinking? Dehydration and like heat stroke now crossing. Oh, we didn't have water.
Right.
People used to stash like they said like gallons of water out there in the desert because they knew immigration was coming across. that fucking mentality's gone now, right? It's not that anymore. It's fucking, dude, there's razor wire, there's fucking cartels that want to kill you, you know, there's fucking private
And dude, like they don't
people
even
out
really
there who will
care
get
if you
you.
get picked up, though. I mean,
No.
if you pick them up, they just let you loose anyways. And
Mhm.
that's really what it is.
That's that ended too. We'll go over that, right? The instant deportations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Biden ended that, which I get it. It was, you know, a health mandate and COVID's over. But it's like you could make an amendment to make that shit a real fucking thing.
Yeah.
To just kick these fools the fuck out instead of being like, well, it's not
And,
that
and
easy.
let's talk about that. When it was, let's act like they all do have COVID. Do we know? Like maybe they got a case of the terrorisms. You know?
Oh, that's gold. That's gold.
I
I
mean,
hate
we already are home growing enough of our own, right? I mean,
that it's gotten so fucked up too, where it's like, just kick these people out, you know, when they commit a crime. It's bad enough, send them back. And then we're like, oh, it's not that easy. And it's like, what do you mean it's not that easy? It's our country. It's our
do you want
fucking
me to
laws.
drive?
They're not our citizens. What, how is that should be the easiest? You don't live here, dog. Go home. Right?
Yeah, it's got the bus fare more than the healthcare now,
Yeah.
or I mean, that's a like
You ain't
what,
gotta go home, but you can't.
$13,000. That's a
Yeah.
$13,000 freaking bus ticket, man.
That minimum.
That's one kid.
That's
one kid.
one.
Yeah.
That's one kid. We have the physical barriers and things like that, dude, but we're still allowing thousands and thousands a day at these spots, right? It doesn't fucking work. There's no cool, yeah, you got a fucking wall up, but there's 4,000 people at it.
Yeah.
You know, what's the wall fucking matter? They're gonna make their own door.
Yeah.
Now a lot of people would argue
Isn't
it
it
has
like 60% come by plane?
yes,
So
yes,
a
more than the
wall.
ground. Yeah, more than the ground come by plane. A lot would blame the current administration and their focus on humane treatment. Okay? So they've gotten rid of some things that we were attacked. Okay? We had these loose fucking immigration policies. We made these new policies. You know, it keeps things kind of under control. It's all out the fucking window now, okay? Obama and the Biden administration out the fucking window. Right? All of it.
Right.
The Remain in Mexico policy, which was officially known as the Migrant Protection Plan. Okay. This was a Trump policy, and they had to stay in Mexico or wherever they were while their documents were being fucking reviewed. Now that just seems like a no-brainer to me, right?
Right. Like, oh, whoa, you're a pedo? I mean, do you know who these guys are?
Yeah.
You know?
They don't. They let him in. Okay. Biden claimed that it violated asylum seekers. Here we go again with that asylum, right? Oh, they need to get out of their country, so we'll check the paperwork on them later. Did you happen to wonder
How
why
much
they
my
needed out of the
tax money's
country?
already going to fix that shithole
Yes.
anyways.
Right? Dude, yeah. He's the border wall construction, right? We all famously saw stopped, dead ass stopped over fucking night. So not only did we not continue on and get other spots where we needed, dude, we just left gaping holes and shit.
And then they started being like, oh no, now you can't do that. So they'd start removing, like Arizona was doing I thought it was a great idea. They were doing shipping containers.
Yep. Texas is still doing that. They took the National Guard said, come fucking take it. Yeah, the governor's got the
And see, like that's such a big fight, like it shouldn't, like, especially when it
shouldn't be.
comes to like your state, like fuck you.
Yeah, this is
Federal
our state.
government keeps saying that, and our state should be the ones to tell the government to fuck off.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
then-
the feds.
you go and tell them, well, you got to get this shit out. And it's like, dude, this was an area before we put a shipping container in that was like rocky terrain and cactus and, a river ran through it and all this shit. It was really hard to cross. We cleared it put shipping containers on it. If you ask them to remove that, the area is now a nice level, flat dirt lot that they could just run right across. You know, it's like we built them a fucking pathway. If you make us take this shit out now, because we had to
Right.
make it sustainable for our shit.
Yeah.
You know, there's and nobody they don't think about that. Here's a big one that I thought I had touched on this before too, but he ended Title 42, right, which was the public health order that would allow for rapid expulsion of migrants, and it didn't matter if they were seeking asylum. Any
Good.
choice we wanted, yeah, you're fucking out.
Yeah.
We have a health
I
emergency.
like that. I like Title 42. We need to go back to that.
Yeah, it should always be active.
Yeah.
I feel like, and
Yeah.
it's always
Especially
there.
if you fuck up. You know, if you're here on good terms, cool.
Hell yeah,
You
kick
get
it.
a speeding ticket, whatever. Cool.
Yeah,
Shit
fuck yeah.
happens.
Come to the barbecue, bro. You know?
Yeah. But you know, you're sitting there slinging drugs or whatever, man. Like, hey, dude, like we already got enough of our own local drug dealers. You don't need to be
You,
stepping on their turf.
you
You
come-
know?
You come over and you haven't got a job in 3 years, but you have no disability keeping you from it. You have no physical ailment. You have no, like what's that word I'm trying to think of? Like disassociation to work. You got nothing wrong with you. You still ain't got a job in 3 years. You're out. You know,
Yeah.
everybody got to work. Sucks.
Shit, dude, what do we get to find a new job? 6 months? You know?
Yeah, minimum. That's if you saved,
Minimum.
bro.
Yeah.
So if you saved, you better find a new job in 2 fucking weeks.
Yeah. It's like, okay, you can do the unemployment route, which that'll buy you some time, but it probably won't pay your bills.
No. They're giving you what, 60% of what you made,
Mhm.
and it's divided up, so it ain't even.
Yeah.
So by continuing to allow the asylum, right, you're allowing these large fucking numbers coming in because that's the excuse that the Venezuelans, and I ain't got no problem with the Venezuelans. That's just the what's the hot spot where it's coming from, you know?
Right.
That's where the origination of the immigration problem is at. And hey man, their country's in shit. I get it, right? You had a president who lost the election and didn't want to fucking leave office. Sound familiar? Ran him to shit.
Mhm.
You have
Also
terrible.
a socialist utopia though, too.
Yes, absolutely. They
That was the poster child for a long time. Oh, look how well Venezuela's doing.
oh yeah,
great.
look at, they're using their own resources and they're getting, oh yeah, they're using their own resources to better themselves. The dude in charge.
And only their own resources.
Only.
So
They export a lot of oil, but they mismanage the money. You know, they pocket it. You
Yeah.
don't put it back in your GDP. We take in, you don't even need a passport if you're from Venezuela to get over here. It can be expired and we'll take you. So literally, you and I, the only thing we have to do when asked by a police officer, the only right that we have taken away from us is we have to provide identification. Right? You don't have to do anything else that a cop asks you. You could fucking just say, nope, suck my dick, bud, right? But you have to provide identification. Not if you're Venezuelan. Come on into our country. You got an expired passport? Ah, fuck it.
And see, I got to thinking about that too, because I ran into this interesting thing where there was like this 17-year-old and he wouldn't identify. I'm like, dude, if you don't have a driver's license, they ain't got nothing, bro. Like, you're nothing. You're nobody.
Yeah.
How would they get you?
They take you to jail and run your prints. If they've never done it before, yeah, you're nobody.
You're still nobody.
Yeah.
This would be your first time.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
we'll
crazy.
take you to jail and fingerprint you. Okay.
And they
Still
don't have
find
a
out that-
social.
No, that was
We're not
my
giving
first one's on
immigrants a social
file, but
security.
I can be whoever I want now.
That's fucking crazy.
Call me share.
Dude. Do you think your fingerprints are somewhere on file that you don't ever know?
All over.
There's got to be other ways that they know who we are now.
Oh, facial recognition. dude, like that software's gone down any, like shit, dude.
I
That's
mean,
how you get into your phone, right?
they fingerprinted me last month again at the sheriff's office. So I mean, it's not that out of date, you know?
No, no. But it's like the ultimate and definitely making sure you are who you say you are, right?
Yes. That is pretty crazy though. So like you bust these guys coming over. You don't know who they are.
Oh, dude, we always used to do retinal scans too.
In the military?
Yeah.
Your eyeball?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's like a fingerprint.
Why would you do your eyeball?
I don't know why we did eyeballs.
Keep in line with the movies.
And I think it might have been more to do with like what we can get off of pictures, maybe.
Ah,
So
that
if we
would make
like
sense.
have like pictures of you with some other dude, we're like, oh, zoom into his eye, and now we have,
Yeah.
And so I think that recognition's definitely there for sure.
You think they've ever tried to find somebody like that in the world? Like, did they try that hard to find Saddam?
No. But some dude was kicking around rocks in his backyard and found him.
When he found the hole?
Yeah.
Damn. That's fucked up. Because I always wondered that. It was like,
And it would suck to find him. I'd be like, dude, I need to find me I wouldn't say shit. I'd be like, I need to go find me a private contractor now. Hey, dude, me and you, halvesies, go find that. There's a bounty on that motherfucker's head.
dude, there was a huge bounty on his head, like $100 million or
And I
some
can't
shit.
get it because I'm a soldier,
Yeah,
right?
you
I don't
can
see
get it.
shit, but you can.
That's
Just,
crazy.
I'll give you some good intel.
I still, speaking of that little side tangent, I need to look back up on that fucking naval soldier in Venezuela. Or not. Yeah,
Yeah,
Venezuela.
Venezuela. Yeah.
Who
Yeah. A couple of them have gone,
who got
well,
arrested, I
yeah.
want to know. It's like, were you trying to pick up Maduro? Because they just confiscated his plane. We just got his plane, so
How much is his bounty?
10 million.
Who do you have to who pays?
The US government,
Do you have to bring him alive?
I would assume. To get the 10 million, you got to be
Yeah.
alive. Yeah.
Not even worth it.
Yeah, hard. He's got a whole army. Venezuela's got a no joke army.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can take other countries.
Yeah, they
They're,
could.
they're still that strong. But if we got a $10 million bounty on his head, why don't we go fucking just take him? Like you
It's
come
only
kick,
10 mil.
you
I
come
mean, in the
kick down
grand
my door. You come kick down my door for a $500 bench warrant.
Dude, you would. It's true.
Yeah. Homeboy's the leader of a country running drugs and you got 10 million on him, but you ain't gonna go get him.
It's because FBI is a bunch of bitches.
Yeah, we gotta keep
CIA,
our
them too.
world friendships alive.
Well, and see, it becomes one of those things that we don't want to meddle in it too much, I'm sure, because it becomes like in Iraq, you take out the leader and it just becomes utter chaos.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Venezuela's sitting there with parties accusing the other parties of lying every time there's a fucking new person in charge,
Right.
It's been like 6 years since they've had a leader.
Yeah.
Maduro's been in there, but
I can't even tell you who's in charge of Iraq now. I mean, they change presidents and shit so fast. I mean, like, oh, dude, I had 3 assassinations. Like, dude, oh yeah, Trump has assassination attempts. Go try Iraq, bro. That's some shit.
they're trying to get you fucking out the very next day.
Yeah,
Dude, it's crazy in other countries too. How that's
and
just
they're
the
taking
solution.
shots at you. Like
No,
they're
blowing
blowing
you
shit
up.
out.
I remember
Sending their kids to give you hugs and shit.
what the fuck was, I can't remember the country, but Benazir Bhutto, and she was like the first president elected female of this country. It might have been Pakistan or somewhere, and it was literally her, like she just won the election, walked downstairs out of her house and got in a car, and it was like a parade, oh, and she's driving through the town, just won the election. A motherfucker ran up, bro, blew himself up in her car and shot like 15 bullets. Obviously shot her first, right? You can't blow
Right.
yourself up. But yeah, ran up,
Right.
bro, shot her to death, and then blew himself up to make sure. Fucking the same day. That's how other countries handle that shit. Over here, we're just like, nah, this sucks. We got to deal with it again. Guess I'll pay $1 more for my milk.
Dude, over and over again.
Over and over. And
And
we
they
just,
truly are showing you who they hate every day.
yes, why they just continue to let in immigrants. Dangerous immigrants, right?
Right. Right.
And
I
it's,
mean, you don't know who they are, right? They could be pedos, they could be terrorists, they could be, you know, you don't know
Mhm.
who they are. Especially like in the pedo thing goes big into like your clashes of cultures. They're different things, man.
dude, and these people are coming from a country with nothing. Like hyperinflation. So your fucking goods ain't worth shit, right? They're scarce because you don't have any. Your money ain't buying it.
No,
You're,
sounds like you need a good rebellion, guys.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Don't come here and fucking fuck with us.
yeah, we're the promised land. We got the good shit.
Yeah, like cool, we'll be here for you, but we'll take your good people. Don't bring your shit over here.
Go fuck with the French.
That's what everybody else does. Go roll over there.
Yeah. Dude, they got terrible immigration,
They
right?
do, dude. They've been invaded what, fucking 3 times now.
That's why they fucking, the yellow
Since
coats are out there
Napoleon,
spraying shit.
Ever since Napoleon left, man, that country's been in shambles, man.
Yeah. It's, you can't let the problem in. And I'm not calling immigration a problem. I'm not calling immigrants a problem. I'm
Mhm.
calling,
The problem people, the
yes,
criminals.
not documenting any of it. Propping them up to continue criminal activity, right? Giving them a ticket and being like, oh, please show up to court because we just, our jails are overcrowded. Dude, they ain't gonna show up to fucking court. They just
Right.
snuck into our
Who
country.
did you even just talk to?
You don't fucking know.
If I
Well,
don't
he
show to
signed,
court, who are you gonna go get?
and then the dumbass motherfucking cops are sitting there. Well, he signed the ticket saying he would show up in court.
Yeah. Who did? Who
Yeah,
signed
who did? Dude, I love this is just side no bearing on it whatsoever. Have you seen the video of the guy just lose it on the police because he's speeding and he pulls into his driveway and the cop blocks his driveway just to talk to him to give him a ticket? And he's like, the guy just must be having a bad day because right off the bat, the cop's like, how you doing? And he looks at him, he goes, my wife's coming home. You think that's a good idea to block the driveway? And the cop's like, okay, I caught you going. And he goes, I'm gonna ask you again, do you think it's a good idea? And he kind of loses it. And the cop is like, can I see your ID? And he's like, well, are you gonna block the driveway? And then the cop fucking, kind of loses it. And he's like, I'm getting my ID, you dumb motherfucker. And the cop's like, that's a credit card. And he goes, oh, so your eyes do work. You can see you're blocking my fucking driveway. Dude, he loses it on this guy.
That's
The
kind of
cop-
good though, but
dude, it's gold. I'll have to send it to you. The cop tries
I
to
think
grab
I've
his
seen-
he tries to grab his ID and he's like, you ain't touching shit, boy. He's like, the law says I just must present it. I don't got to give you shit. And he's just losing it. And he tells the guy, he's like, where do you work? What's your job? Fuck you, motherfucker. And the cop goes, is that a corporation or incorporated? Right? Like Inc.
right back at him, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, that's good.
What's your phone number? And he goes, I don't want you calling me, motherfucker. I love it, dude. And it's in his
Dude,
driveway,
and
right?
cops ask you some of those dope questions like, where do you work? Like,
Yeah,
why do
fuck
you
yourself,
need to know?
bro. Yeah. Ain't got nothing to do with
What,
you.
you want to go to dinner later or what, man? Like,
And he knows too, because right, he's in his front yard on his driveway, and the cop's like, "You calm down." He's like, "Don't tell me shit." He's like, "You came in my house. I want to be crazy. I'll be fucking crazy." Eventually, long story short, another cop shows up and is a
And he gets-
complete arrests him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're evading. You're evading. Questioning and arrest. So we're arresting you.
no,
It's
man,
like, okay, this is gonna
failure
hold up
to
real well.
ID, those things, yeah.
Yeah,
Because you did have him on the speeding. So
yeah. Still,
I
though,
think
it's like,
Colorado we do have to ID, I think.
yeah, but I ain't got to show you it. Or I ain't got to give it to you.
No. Like,
You can read it right fucking here. Yeah. You
right.
see those videos of guys who like get pulled over and they have it in their Ziploc bag. And they're like,
up
you can
against
see
the
it right
window.
here, motherfucker. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so the migrant crisis we have, right? And you can go watch, and Kamala avoids the whole fucking thing, right?
She
They
avoids
called
every fucking question and
they called
explains
her
what,
the borders are.
like, dude, she'll explain what immigration is. So what immigration is? Like, bitch, we asked you what you were gonna do about it,
Yeah,
not
well,
not
there's
what it
people
is.
looking for help that are coming from another country. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just what she gives it. And like
we
some
call
of
her the border czar and tell her, dude, this was your shit. And she just goes, nothing. We're like, okay, not even gonna acknowledge that that was you. Okay.
oh, it like and then she's like, oh, we've been to the border, and like the reporter's like, but you haven't.
Yeah, you haven't. We have.
Yeah.
You went to
That's
a
what she
spot
kept
outside
saying.
your Hotel 6 or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember that
That's what
shit?
he was saying. He was like, yeah, well, you haven't. Well,
Yep.
I've had people there,
Mhm.
but you haven't. Like,
Dude, the spot she went was literally like the parking lot outside of a motel. And it was like 10 miles from the border still.
shit,
It's like,
dude.
that's
Like
not the
pissed there
border.
from Padre.
Yeah, dude.
Didn't even go enjoy the beach.
Yeah. Fucking ridiculous, right? I drove through 2 border patrols just going to California.
Dude, I
Like,
went.
damn,
Yeah,
Kamala.
I had to drive out of one to get out of
Oh, yeah.
Padre. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That was my first experience of that. That was weird.
What do you think? You think we're setting ourselves up in America?
Oh, dude, I think we've been invaded, man.
I think the administration knows, and it's a different kind of attack. You know, it's they don't need to fly planes into 2 buildings anymore. You know,
It's almost like a economical attack.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Really.
our we could put our system into disarray,
Yeah.
and then that'll fuck the people more. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't even take an attack now. Now you just open
Mm-mm.
up the floodgates and let the problem flow in, you know?
And don't get me wrong, people are so fucking stupid and sheepish that you see attacks happen just from these people that literally had a mental break, right? The dude in Boulder who shot
Yeah.
up the King Supers, 12 people, right? Just dude, imagine if you had like 2 trained soldiers that walked in, right? Iranians or something.
Yeah.
Each had an SKS with 100-round mags in them. They'd put a whole lot more than 12 people down.
That's true.
And then you'd have a whole nother fucking issue, right? Put 15 of those dudes in a whole little unit. They could probably take something if they wanted.
That's true, man. Like even if you're at least slightly proficiently trained, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It, it's
Trained in
it's,
handling the fucking situation, even, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Remaining calm. 90% of the people aren't going to remain calm and they're fucked.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And just not getting tunnel vision, shit like that, man. Like most people don't even know what to do because they've never kind of like even had a experience that's made their, you know, heart race to the point where
Yeah.
they can hardly see, you know?
Yeah. And dude, there's fucking, remember that guy? What was that? 7-8 months ago? He was talking how he was like a known fucking terrorist coming across our border. Remember that?
Yeah.
And he was like, you guys will pay. You'll remember my name. And it's like,
And
do
how'd
we
they
know
catch
where
that
he is
guy?
now?
Like, and like, how, where did all that missing fertilizer go? That's my newest question because I went back to that the other day. I was like, remember those train cars a long time back? Like that was a couple of years ago almost
Yeah,
now,
that
wasn't
shit's
it? Me and you
gone.
were talking about? No, that was last year around this time, maybe.
Almost 2 years, I feel like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fertilizer gone, like 100,000 pounds.
Yeah.
We'll
Nothing
find
but
out.
good things.
Couldn't be anything. Anyways, this was another beautiful episode of We Figured It Out. We're here to say you don't got to worry, though. People coming, people going. Not everybody wants a fucking bad solution at the end of the day, you know. 90% of these people, they're just trying to get on with their day too, like we all are. But it was less than fucking anybody who took down the towers, you know. That was the same attitude, the same policy, the same holes in policy. and the same inability to even make an attempt to have a plan is what's going to
If there
get us
was
there.
a pit full of snakes, knowing one was venomous, would you jump in there?
Yeah, fuck no. Right? You wouldn't
There's
do
only
it.
one venomous snake in there, though, Michael.
Yeah. You wouldn't eat a handful of M&Ms if one of them had anthrax.
It's still gonna kill you.
Yeah, dude.
Right?
You know? And America doesn't learn their lesson, but I think that's the point. I hate to say it, but I think that's what they want.
So too.
Chaos can, dude. Who's
Oh
to
yeah,
say
we
that they
faked the
don't?
last ones. Okay, we got something for you guys.
Yeah. Who's to say it's not a martial law ploy? You know,
True.
you keep your presidency. I read John McAfee, right? He's dead now. Supposed maybe assassinated, you know, maybe killed, unalived is what I should say. But anyways, the antivirus creator, right?
Mhm.
McAfee, he said in 2020, he was just a couple years off, but he said Biden will withdraw in September and you're never going to believe who they put in charge. So he was only a month off when he said it back in 2020. Yeah, that's wild, right? So
Damn.
I think they know what they're doing with the immigration. I think it's for a purpose because you could stop that shit, dude. You could fucking easily.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, you could easily pull up a truck with fucking 200 soldiers and line our border and be like, bitch, you come through and you put a hand on me, we're shooting you in the leg. You know,
True.
the world will frown on it, but hey,
At least catch some IDs on the way through.
yeah, dude, at least somebody will tell us the truth.
Right.
But I think the administration, you know, they need the votes. They understand they can get the votes through people with free stuff. And so, what's the price that we'll pay for that? You know, it's only yet to be seen. Anyway, another great episode. End of days, best friends here. Maybe we are in the end of days. Who the fuck knows? I'm Michael,
And I'm Matt.
and we'll talk to y'all the next time.